E.Jones.
The E.Jones Show. The E.Jones Show. The E.Jones Show.
Yes, indeed. You're tuned into the E.Jones Show. Another episode. We're back in the building. It is the E.Jones Show featuring the First Lady, Sharonda.
Hey, y'all.
I am E.Jones. We're here.
And we ain't going nowhere.
Special guest, Kangol Kid from the iconic rap group UTFO will be joining us today on the show.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up.
We got a great topic. We got some strange but true news. And we got a great story. I just want to get people's thoughts and opinions about the story that I'm going to read to y'all today.
Okay.
And, of course, another episode of Mean What You Say.
Say what you mean, baby.
And that's it. So we're going to unleash that today. But I want to talk a little bit about this article I found.
Okay.
I'm an attorney that married a man with no job, no house, and a child. My girl's trip to Cancun was only a few days, and frankly, I was on a high from finally understanding that I didn't need a relationship to make me whole. I was a newly sworn-in attorney with a plush job working for a Fortune 500 company. Traveling the world in my spare time, that within itself was something to be proud of. Excuse me. But even more than that, I was falling madly in love with myself. A lifetime goal finally coming into fruition. I had cause for celebration. It was the first time in the history of my existence that I wasn't tying my value to a man. I was realizing that I was the catch, and not just because of my accomplishments, because of my soul. Despite all of that, I was open to dating for fun.
Okay.
So there I sat across from a 31-year-old man who had been shooting his shot for years. Somewhere in between the appetizer and the entree, he looked me square in my eyes and told me that he recently quit his full-time job to take a football coaching internship at a university that was 8 hours. I suppose that could have been my cue to dismiss myself. Instead, I sat there listening to him lay out his full game plan for reaching his end goal of being a Division I football coach. He had a clear and definitive timeline, passion in his eyes, and a willingness to make the necessary sacrifice. As he finished up his spiel, I thought to myself, any man this strategic and determined will succeed. Through late-night convos about following dreams and creating a legacy, I quickly fell in love with Barkari. Day by day, it didn't matter that he was practically living out of his car or had no steady income coming in. I decided to give Bakari a shot because unlike the other in-between men I encountered, along the way, he had a game plan to match the dream. He wasn't just a talker, he was a doer who was using his own savings to fund his ambition, and he had a deadline and a fallback plan. So I guess, without going further into the story, which I feel I like,
Put the nail on the head.
I like where it's going, and we got ladies in the room right now. Is it possible for a woman to be with a man who doesn't have nothing?
Absolutely. It definitely is. I mean, in that scenario right there, for one, he wasn't asking her for anything. He had his own plan set. He had his financial strategy in order. He gave himself a deadline to achieve his goal. He had a fallback plan if he didn't achieve his goal.
Mm-hmm.
So, as she stated, he was very strategic in his plan. So, again, you don't know if you can achieve it if you don't try it. So, I commend him for even trying it. But I commend him even more for the willingness to do it on his own and not look for any support from anybody else. And I give her props for seeing him for who he truly was, and not what he could bring to the table for her, but what his destiny could be. You know, what his drive is displaying. And if he can do that on his own, imagine what they could do together.
Just to hit the nail on the head, she said, I looked at him and realized that he embodied the difference between a scrub and a man sacrificing on purpose. 3 months later, he was promoted to a full-time position. I felt like we've dreamed a dream together and made it happen. He did the long nights and grunt work, while I did the cheering and motivating. We prayed about our ambition and watched as they continue to unfold in front of us, with each day passing. I got to give her a lot of credit, because I'm going to say this, and it's not to offend all women, and it might offend some women. And if you do get offended by it, then maybe you're in the wrong business.
Okay.
The bottom line is this. I think each man, or any true man, would dream of a woman that's going to fuel his ambition and his goals and not tear him down. She gave him a chance. She has a corporate 500 job. She's a lawyer. She's not hurting for no money. And she can get any man that she wants, especially in that type of tax bracket. But she chose to go with the dude that had a dream, ambitions, and goals. And she believed in him. And that says the world when your woman believes in you and is the motivating factor behind you and wants you to reach your goals and do what you have to do. And that one time she didn't ostracize him.
But see, money is not everything.
To some.
It's nice to have, and it gets you a lot of your wants. But it doesn't bring you happiness, and it doesn't bring you joy. Well, maybe a little bit of joy. But at the end of the day, you have money, you have wealth, you have success, but you're alone. Who wants to be alone?
And some people fall victim to being a slave to the money, because a lot of times you could meet a wealthy woman or a well-financed woman, and she wants you as eye candy, but she can also make you a slave to the rhythm. Vice versa, ladies. You can get that man that's making 6 figures, and all he wants you to do is lay on your back and have babies, clean and cook. But with this story here, this was about motivation and someone believing in his dreams. And like Sharonda said earlier, he didn't ask her for a dime. This was his grind.
This man slept in his car.
He slept in his car and wasn't ashamed to say, babe, I'm trying to do what I got to do. And she fell in love with him naturally because of his grind. And I got to big her up for that. And I definitely I'm going to share this article on the topic page, because I think a lot of women on our topic page need to read this. Sometimes there's hidden jewels there if you're willing to give that jewel a chance.
Absolutely.
Stop knocking people down because they don't have the income that you want. And you got to kind of look at it also, too. Do you have the income he wants?
Well, with that being said, I've had, people in my circle, I want the man that drives the Mercedes or the Lexus or the Land Cruiser or the Bentley or the da-da-da-da. I want the man that's making 6 figures or 7 figures or whatever it may be. And then that's not how it turns out. They find somebody else who may be making less money or close or the same to what they're making and drive an average vehicle. Could be a Altima, it could be a, Honda, whatever. And that's the person you fell in love with. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that you can't have standards in which you want to meet, but you don't go into a relationship thinking about what that man could do for you. You go into the relationship being solid for yourself. And whatever he has to bring to the table is a bonus because you already doing it. Now, I'm not saying go pick somebody up off the corner who ain't got no desire, no drive to do anything. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying, it's not always about the man with the suit and the tie. It's not always about that. Sometimes it's the garbage man who bring home 6 figures. But people forget about them because he the garbage man. He on the truck. But they make good money, y'all. They make good money.
And the great part about this, she said, in just another 6 months, he was promoted again.
See?
And this time, he used his money from his salary to buy me a ring. Friends and family are proud to say he married an attorney, and she married the assistant director of player development at a major university. They can't get enough of the fact that our wedding was featured on Essence.com. It brings them a joy that we got. We get to live our best lives together. Okay. But what really makes our love special is commitment and persistent, despite the odds. Key words: persistent, commitment, persistent, despite the odds. Yep. So by hook or crook, they did what they had to do in order for their relationship to flourish. And I commend them. And this is what love is about. So I wanted to definitely share this story. It was very interesting. It definitely touched my heart to the fullest. It touched my heart. And I just wanted to share it with the listeners. E.Jones.
The E.Jones Show. E.Jones Show. The E.Jones Show.
And I want to talk about today's topic. Is it okay for your man to grab your butt in public?
Yes.
Why?
Why not? It's his.
Okay, I like the answer.
It's mine. I mean, I'm not gonna say grab it in front of my daddy or nothing. You know what I'm saying? But
if he gonna grab it, let him grab it.
Hey.
If he gonna grab it, let him grab it.
He can grab it and have it.
Grab it. Let him grab it.
Hey.
If she want to grab your butt, grab it.
Well, I ain't grabbing the butt.
I'm just saying in general. You don't want to grab nothing else in front of your daddy.
I'm be like, Daddy, we going upstairs for a second.
See? There you go. There you go.
Work with me for a minute, Daddy. Well, I go work with Daddy.
Yeah, I want to hear that. You better hope Uncle ain't in the building. Before you go upstairs, can I get a little taste?
Lord have mercy.
Can I get a little taste first?
No.
And then you can go. He can grab you wherever he want to grab you. I'm gonna grab his bottle over here. That's all.
He can have a bottle.
That's all he came for.
Yeah, well, we got plenty of that for him.
He ain't come for nothing else.
Ooh-wee. I had a bottle, didn't I?
A bottle. So we want to say hello to everybody that's on the topic page.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Hey.
So we here.
We ain't going nowhere.
And we talking about grabbing. If you're in a relationship, is it okay for you to grab your woman's butt in public? I don't see nothing wrong with it. It's not like you going in her pants or something.
You know.
Just grabbing her butt.
I mean, some people look at it as being disrespectful. You know, you out in public, they be like, oh, why don't you get a room with that? But, I mean, it's not like...
Why don't you pay for it?
Well, guess you got a point there.
My thing is this. If the reason why they're upset that you grabbing your girl or your man's butt because ain't nobody grab, or maybe they suffering from a rare disease, no asset at all.
Well, I ain't got that problem.
So I don't know. Maybe the reason why nobody ain't grabbing your butt is because they feel like they grabbing your back. I'm just saying.
Or they can't feel it because it's all back.
Okay.
I mean, hey.
It could be numerous things, but if that's my woman, I'm gonna grab her butt when I want to grab it.
Okay.
And if she want to grab something, she can grab it. Whole lot.
I know that's right.
But we got an announcement to make because we got a new home.
We're gonna add that to the list. I don't even know what count this is at this point, and I don't even keep count no more, y'all. But anyway, effective Monday, February 25th, 2019, we will be on KOWN 95.7 FM The Boss. And that's in Oklahoma.
No,
Nebraska.
Omaha.
Oh, I'm sorry. Omaha, Nebraska, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Say it one more again.
Effective Monday, February 25th, 2019. We will be on KOWN 95.7 FM The Boss in Omaha, Nebraska from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Monday through Friday. So tune in, y'all.
Nebraska, we here.
We ain't going nowhere.
We here, Nebraska. Hey, Stacey Jackson, what's going on? Tracy Foster, what's up, baby?
Hey. Happy anniversary, Stacy.
Happy anniversary, Stacy. We
Happy
see y'all boo loving.
Happy Stacy.
Boo loving all over the place.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nah, man, ain't nothing
Ain't
wrong.
nothing wrong with that.
With
Stacy
little
is a
bump and grind.
long-time friend of mine, and she was nice enough to fill in for me when I was out having my surgery. So once again, I thank her for all of her help. And we are definitely going to hook up soon. And I know I keep saying that, but it's going to happen, Bo. It's going to definitely happen.
I had fun with when Stacy was here.
Yeah, Stacy crazy.
She was trying to drive me crazy.
But wait, I have to say, I was looking at some of the footage from her birthday party, and when she came upstairs to, be introduced and to see, all her guests, and she began to turn around, and when she noticed her mother was there, which was her surprise, and her reaction, I swear to you not, that is the same reaction she's always had from us being friends, like middle school. I mean, like her body structure, her whole reaction. I just laughed because I'm like, oh my God, that is the same way she has always been. But it was nice to see that she was so excited and happy, and it looked like she had an amazing time.
Cody said, "What up, family? What up is when you bring your butt in the studio
with your pants pulled up."
Exactly. That's what's up.
How many times? We done been here many weeks now. He hasn't been here.
Yep, he has not made it to one of our Rewind Network recordings as of yet.
I'm going to take your name off the list.
As of yet.
I'm going to take
Yes, Cody, we putting you on blast. Tracy, how's it going? Hope your weekend was great, darling.
Hey, Tracy.
That is Charnel Foster's aunt, Miss Tracy Foster.
Hey, Auntie Tracy.
Hey, Auntie Tracy. Hey.
Oh, Lord. Here he goes.
Hey.
Here he go. What we going to do with him?
Well, Tracy's a good friend of mine.
All right. That's what's up. That's what's up.
So, today we have the legendary Kangol Kid from the group UTFO joining us on the show. We're going to drop a little Roxanne. Then we're going to put Roxanne, Shantae, putting them back in their place.
Uh-oh. Get it?
That's when hip-hop was great. The diss tracks, nobody wasn't getting murdered. It was just music going back and forth.
And forth and back.
And Roxanne Shantae tangled with a lot of men on the MC game. So
she was getting it.
She was definitely getting in, but the UTFO crew had a lot of great hits. Bite This, A Cold Wanna Be With You, Roxanne. So we're going to definitely talk with Kangol Kid, find out what he been up to, what's going on, because we getting everybody business. We be in that business.
In a nice way.
But we like somebody, uncle. Let me get a little taste there, nephew.
That's how you be with your uncle.
Nephew, come on now. I don't want no lollipop. I need a little something stronger. E.Jones.
The E.Jones Show. E.Jones Show.
The E.Jones Show featuring Sharon, the Cody plus Talise, DJ Mark with the lunchtime mix. We are here right now, and we're waiting for our guest, the Kangol Kid, to join us.
Yo. That's what's up.
So we're waiting for him to call in right now, and we're going to chop it up with the Kangol Kid. But, I did find out this, y'all.
Okay, tell me.
Someone did take somebody to White Castle.
Now, how did you find that out?
I called.
Oh, you so silly.
I called up and I asked them, I said, how did y'all do with your Valentine's Day promotion?
Oh, man.
They said they had 6 couples. But he refused to tell me how they decorated the table, because that was more my concern. Like, did they have candles on the table and the hors d'oeuvre was French fries? I just wanted to know. Was they able to bring a bottle of liqueurs into the building? He wouldn't answer that question. He said they had 6 people. So shout out to the people that took their girl to White Castle. I'm sure she was very impressed. Very impressed.
Honestly, Chick-fil-A is better than White
Huh?
I would have gone to Chick-fil-A.
I would have preferred that too. Sorry. I don't know if I'm beat to be taken to White Castle on Valentine's Day. But I could say, shout out to the restaurant that we went to last Valentine's Day that did us real dirty. And we did end up eating at McDonald's. But the McDonald's was probably better than the restaurant we ate at. So,
Now that's a serious shot.
hey, shut up. So, I had to put that on blast. Like this Valentine's Day, we just had like a little picnic in the living room.
That was nice.
And I said to my wife, I said, I want to do this with my daughter. So we included my daughter. And we just sat around, the table that we have in our living room.
Okay.
On pillows, and we had Chinese food, and we just talked. No TV, no phone, no nothing. Great conversation, and I was good with that.
Okay.
At least I ain't had to worry about the owner of the establishment telling the waitress, serve the people up in the comedy show and let the people on the first floor starve. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Well, I had a very nice Valentine's Day.
I'm sure you did.
It was quite unexpected because I wasn't expecting to see my boo thing until Sunday. But when I came, he's so stupid. When I came home from work, he was in the bed waiting for me. So that was nice.
One of these honeys Biggie got to sleep with, creep with. Why not?
So, everything worked out really nice. Like I said, I wasn't expecting to see him until Sunday, but...
And it was like a party, right?
It's always a party with him and I.
Instead of throw your hands in the air, it's like throw your legs in the air, wave them like you just don't care. My fault.
Well, it don't have to be a Valentine's Day for me to throw my legs in the air. Come on now.
You're tuned into the E.Jones Show. We got our special guest. We got the legendary Kangol Kid. How you doing, legend?
I'm good, bro. How you, man?
I'm maintaining, man. I'm just excited to have you on the show so we can talk about your legendary career.
All right. Thank you for having me, bro. Thank you.
Anytime. I got my sister in the building, Sharonda.
Hey, what's up? And thank you for being here.
No problem. What's going on, Sharonda?
Hey, baby, I'm making it do what it do.
All right.
I have to tell you right now, thank you so much for the clarity on your phone because we have so many people that call in and the clarity is really rough. So your phone is on point. So thank you.
All right. Well, I paid my bill.
Okay.
No, that's right.
Yeah. It all starts with good credit.
Okay.
Facts.
Facts. Please keep preaching because a lot of people like, yo, I'm going to call you back. I got this prepaid. Let me just get some minutes and then I'm going to hit it back. Can we start from the beginning of the interview?
Wow.
All right. Well, I hope I didn't jinx it and if we start losing connection or some dumb mess.
Oh,
starts to happen.
Wow.
All right. So keep our fingers crossed in this interview.
No doubt. So we're going to start from the beginning, brother.
All right. It's a very lengthy story. You sure you want to do that?
No, I definitely want to do that. When we have the legends come on, our goal is to give the listeners your story, not our story. So I want to start at the beginning. How did you get into this whole rap, this thing that we love called rap?
It fell on me. It landed on me. Let's see. It started off with me wanting to be an entertainer before rap was something that, people idolized.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be an entertainer since I was like 8 years old, watching cats on TV like Tom Jones, the Jackson 5, Shields and Yarnell. I don't know if y'all remember who those two were, but they used to mime.
Mm-hmm.
And so I used to watch all of these things, take place on television. TV was my babysitter.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So when my Dukes and my parents were occupied, they would just plop us in front of a television, and Soul Train was my babysitter or my teacher. You know what I mean? So I watched everyone sing. I watched everyone perform, and I said, I want to do this one day. And so at that young age, I started writing songs. And I was a vocalist before rapping. Again, like I said, rap didn't exist, at the age of 8 when I was doing this like this. And so as I got older and rap became a thing, I just realized, I could do this because I'm already writing songs. The only difference is now I don't have to perform them in a melodic structure. I can actually just say the words that I was writing. I don't have to sing it. And so it was my older brother who started to get more into rapping and vinyl and DJing. He was the first one in our neighborhood to have 2 turntables and a mixer. And he was purchasing every rap record that came out. Of course, he had, Sugar Hill Gang, but the rap song that came out, for those who don't really know rap, the first rap record was King Tim III from Fatback. And so my brother had that record first, and then later he got Sugar Hill Gang, and I was just, listening to all these cats do their thing, and I wanted to get into it. He had his little rap band or rap group he was putting together, and I was too young to be down with the group, but I was nice with the stuff that I was writing. So his boys was like, "Yo, man, you need to have him in the group," and that pissed him off. So he barred me. He was like, "Do not come down to the basement when me and my boys are together." And so my attitude was like, "Really, bro? I'm gonna show you." And so that competition made me get even better just to show him up. And so it began from that. And so again, I was a rapper, I was a singer, I was a dancer from the neighborhood. I met Doc Ice, who lived a block away from me. I didn't know his name. He was just some kid that I would always see, walking down the block and doing some dance moves among his boys. And, finally one day I approached him and started to show him my moves. And I was good with my upper half, and he was good with his feet. Hence why he called himself Dr. Ice, because he always moved around like he was sliding, on ice. And so it was one day where a new franchise opened up in our neighborhood, Popeye's Chicken. And so as a promotional gig, they decided to put together like a little contest in the neighborhood, and whoever wins the contest would get a free Popeye's meal. And so some of my boys went down there to go get in this contest, and me and Doc was like, "Yo, we can burn all these cats, man. Let's just do this just to show them who really runs things in this neighborhood." And so we got into this little competition in the Popeyes restaurant and won. So our first trophy was a 3-piece.
Right. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with feeding the soul.
Yeah, man. And so that began Doc and I as dancers, and I was known in the neighborhood as a dancer and a rapper. And the neighborhood was East Flatbush, Brooklyn, New York.
Shout out to Brooklyn.
So everyone knew me as a dancer. Everyone knew me as a dancer and a rapper. And Full Force was the neighborhood band. Everyone knew Full Force, as the band that would play at, whatever affairs. And I went to the neighborhood high school, which was Wingate High School. And I met Mike Hughes. Mike is the member of Lisa and Cult Jam. Okay. And so me and Mike became friends. And Mike, like the members of Full Force, those cats stay working out. That's a religion for them. And so like Full Force, Mike was a cat who was nice and buff also. And he kind of became my bodyguard in high school. Like, nobody messed with me because Mike was my dude. And so one day I joined this, I auditioned for the school's talent show. And there was this girl that I was trying to talk to. She wouldn't give me the time of day. So, like any cat whose feelings got hurt, I used to, diss her, like, forget you. And so she would say, "I'm going to get my man to beat you up." And I'm like, "Get your man. I ain't afraid of him." And the reason why I said that is because, Mike was my bodyguard. So ain't nobody messing with Mike. So go ahead and get your man. And so a few weeks into rehearsing for the talent show, the night of the talent show, Mike came to one of the classrooms that we use as a dressing room, and he introduced me to B-Fine of Full Force. And, Full Force, as you know them, big dudes. Yep. So B-Fine had his arms crossed as I put my arm out to shake, put my hand out to shake his hand, and he just kept his arms crossed and just nodded his head like, "What's up? How you doing?" I'm like, "All right, no problem." And so this is before I went on stage. So after I went on stage and I danced and did my thing, B-Fine now is very talkative. It's like, "Yo, my dude, I didn't know you could dance like that, man. I'm in this group called Full Force. I dance a little bit also. Let's just change numbers so you can show me some of your moves." I said, "All right, no problem." So he gives me his number, and he leaves the room, and then Mike comes to me and says, "Yo, man, you're lucky you like the way you dance, man. That's that girl's boyfriend. He came up here to do it."
Wow. I kind of figured it was going that way.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's how I met Full Force. All right.
Wow.
So a few weeks into me and B hanging out, and me and him me showing him some dance moves, I asked him. Now that we got to be real cool, I'm like, so that day you came to the talent show, you was gonna fight me or something? And he said, oh yeah, I was gonna put a hurting on you, bro. Yeah, like the way you did.
Wow.
Oh man,
And
oh man. So I'm sure she was upset.
So that's how I met Full Force. So next thing you know, Doc and I are dancing for them whenever they do shows. Their manager became our manager. And there was a contest taking place at Radio City Music Hall that we were the only group that went in for both rap and breakdance. It was a rap breakdance contest. And so we came in first place for dancing, second place for rapping. We got beat out by the Fat Boys. And so in the audience was the members of Houdini. And so they approached my manager and said, yo, I love the way these kids dance. I would love to have them come out on the road with us. And before you know it, we are on a world tour dancing for Houdini, making us the first dancers ever for a rap group.
Wow.
So it's like after Doc and I danced for Houdini, every rap group had to have at least 2 dancers go out on the road with them. And so here we are around the world, Germany, England, you name it, Switzerland, we everywhere, dancing with Houdini. And so by the time we came home, our managers had a recording deal waiting for us because of the popularity from the videos and everything that we've done. And our first single was a song called Beats and Rhymes that did pretty good, down south and West Coast. And the next single was Roxanne, Roxanne. But the way that happened, is that wasn't supposed to be the single. The single was a song called Hanging Out. We spent 3 weeks working on Hanging Out, and we added a little bit of everything to it. It had a little singing chorus, a little melodic thing here, and we put a lot of time into that. 21 days putting that together. We gave it to the record company. Record company loved it and said, all right, can you give us something for the B-side? And for those who are the younger listeners, B-side is the other side of a record.
Yep.
All right.
Say it one more again, Kangol Kid. One more time, because they don't understand that. One more time.
The B-side is the other side of a record. So you have the hit song on side A, and you have the B-side with whatever that second filler is.
But wait, you heard him start saying, beat the.
Yep.
So it was the B-side. It wasn't supposed to be the hit. We spent 3 days on Hanging Out. And the reason why, on Roxanne, Roxanne, the reason why we even did the song is because the record company insisted for us to do a song for the B-side. And we had no ideas. We were done with ideas. We just wanted the label to put this out. So B-Fine said to us, I want you guys to do a song about a girl named Roxanne. So we said, okay, why? So we said, why Roxanne? And he said, I just like the name. That was his explanation. He just liked the name. And we were like, all right, fine. So what do you want us to write about? And he said, all right, well, look, Kang, I want you to write about how you're trying to get with this chick, and no matter how hard you try, you can't get, one word in edgewise. I'm like, all right, fine. And he says, and at the end, she disses you. You don't get her. And E, I want you to do the same. And, then she disses you as well. Doc, I want you to do the same, but at the end of the song, you get her. And I'm like, no, why he got to get her? And so B said, all right, fine, nobody gets her. So we all went and put together our raps. And to show how much even Full Force, who is a hands-on production team, to show how much everyone really cared about this so-called song, I told B-Fine, I said, so what beat we're going to rap off of? And he said, no, just whatever we come up with. And I said, all right, well, I got this beat that I've been programming that I kind of dig. I'd like to use that. Without him even hearing it, he was like, all right, fine, we'll use your beat. I'm like, okay. And so E said, well, I got this other beat that I wanted to rap off. I wanted to rap off a big beat. And so I said, all right, cool, then we'll make that happen. And so B says, I'll program a beat for you, Doc. So, all right, so this became like probably the first song with 3 different beats, on one single. And so my beat became the first beat that I ever produced, programmed, that was actually published. And so we went in there, we did this song, we gave it to the label. 3 days later, like, all right, are you happy here? And as they started to promote it and give it to all these DJs, Red Alert, Chuck Chill Out, Mr. Magic. These are all cats that heard the A side, which was Hanging Out, and then heard the B side, and they were like, "Nah, this one right here, this is the hit."
The B side.
And yeah, the B side. Everyone was like, "Nah, this is the hit," and we were kind of pissed. It's like, "No, I don't make that the hit, man. We spent 3 weeks on that other one, man. That's the one that should be the hit." No one heard us. They ignored us. Played that song, and that became the mega hit that it is today. One of hip hop's greatest rap singles ever.
Well, I'm gonna make Kangol laugh. I ain't mean to cut you off. I'm gonna make you laugh. You know when I first heard Roxanne was from Mr. Magic. It's a world premiere, mirror. It's a world premiere, mirror.
No doubt, man. I couldn't believe that song did what it did, man. I mean, here I am in the neighborhood listening to the song play as cars are driving past, and hearing me on the radio, and in their car radio. I'm like, yo, I can't believe this is blowing up. And this is when I realized that it was out of control. When I heard a DJ play it on the radio, an air personality, he played it, and after the song ended, he said, "This song got so much requests, we got to play it again." I'm like, get out of here. You can't be serious. I couldn't believe that this type of stuff was happening to us, yo. And that was it. After that, we just quickly became those mega stars performing on Soul Train, which is the show that was my babysitter, my classroom at home, and now here I am on that stage.
Live and direct.
Yeah, man, it just blew up from that point on, man.
Well, I got something else for you now. Y'all started an epidemic. You had Sparky's Turn, Roxanne You're Through. You had Roxanne's Doctor, The Real Man. Then you had Do to Roxanne, The Parents of Roxanne, I'm Little Roxanne. It just went on and on and on.
Everything about Roxanne.
I agree. It became a rap soap opera, and everybody wanted to keep up with the latest episode. Again, because this was an early thing in hip hop, we're the first to do that. I don't think that ain't never gonna happen again. I mean, we've had over 20-something registered singles to that song, answer records to that, and there's a bunch that wasn't, properly recognized or published or whatever that exists. So I can't even tell you how many answers came out to that record. But so much first, man, because we're the first battle on wax. Rapping always had battling. I mean, hip hop is a form of music that's recognized as a sport anyway. Rappers battle, DJs battle, breakdancers battle, graffiti artists battle. You know what I mean? So that always existed before records actually came out on wax. But this was the first time that a song was being addressed in a battle form, and everyone's replying or responding to a record. So
Gotcha.
That was one of hip hop's first.
So I guess let's move up a little closer now. First and foremost, I want to say rest in peace to the educated rapper.
Absolutely, man.
We lost him.
We couldn't believe it. He kept it a secret from us, man. Nobody knew that he was ill until days before he passed away.
Mm-hmm. So I guess my question to you, with the remaining group members, would you ever do a tour or go out and perform?
I can't call it. I mean, I don't want to say no, it'll never happen, but I will say that I feel like it's not. Everyone outgrew each other. Everyone went their own way, of course. There's a lot that has taken place that I don't know how much can be reversed. I mean, if I would honestly wish that just like all these rock groups that can't stand each other, but they still out there making that money. I would love it to be a situation where if we can't take whatever it is, reverse whatever it is that exists, then let's just go out there and do our job. We got an obligation to hip hop. You know what I mean? So the legacy of what it is that we've done, and my sons have never seen a full UTFO concert. You know what I mean? So I would love for them to experience that. And, so on. But, so, I don't know, bro. I don't see it happening. I've made several attempts, and it hasn't been received. And I even thought, after, I wanted to do this before a member passed away. And so even after a member passed away, I'm here, trying to make it happen. And the return calls are still not coming. So it's like, you know what? we're all grown men, and I ain't kissing nobody backside anymore. Let's God bless you, bro. Keeping this moving.
So, as now the legend, what do you got going on right now? Like any solo projects, any production? Like what's going on with you?
I've done a little bit of everything, and I'm happy to say that the little bit that I have done, throughout the spectrum, I've done pretty well. I've managed groups, I've produced rap songs, R&B songs that have charted, top 10. Let's see, I got my hand into a little acting, a few years ago. It was a movie project, Lost Book of Rap. I appeared on that. What else? Just last year, I did my first play. So again, I've done a little bit of everything. And so I don't really have a desire to say I need to come out there and do a song again or anything. If I do anything right now, it's going to be something that I didn't do before.
Okay.
And so what I'm doing right now is funny. I mean, I've been a parent, for 30 years, but to 3 boys. And just 3 years ago, I had my first baby girl.
Amen.
So,
Congratulations.
So here I am doing something new, being a dad to a little girl, which is totally brand new to me. I never foresaw this type of thing happening, where I was going to be in daddy-daughter dances, or Sweet 16, or proms, and all these other things that I now look forward to that I never even imagined. That would take place, raising 3 boys, and the other new thing that I'm doing right now. Is I'm hosting a karaoke event in Brooklyn, New York, weekly.
Okay.
And called Celebrity Karaoke. And your standard karaoke joint, of course, just have people come together and just sing songs that they know and love. And it ain't got nothing to do with being talented. It just has everything to do with being courageous and getting up there and doing your best. And so what I've done with my event is I would invite a celebrity friend to join me every week. And what happens with that celebrity friend being present is they can either just hang out, participate, or they join in with some of the karaoke people that are singing. Like I had High Five come through. The group High Five came through a few weeks ago, and someone requested to sing a High Five song, and High Five got up with them and sang with them.
Nice.
So that's basically what the event is. We hold it every week, every Thursday, at a spot in Brooklyn, New York, one of the hot spots in Brooklyn, New York, called Milk River.
Heard of that.
So that's like the latest thing that I've done. As for what else it is that I'm doing, man, I'm kind of enjoying this legendary thing. And what I mean by that is so many doors are opening up that I never imagined would open. 2 years ago, my hat was inducted in the Smithsonian Museum in D.C., which President Obama did the ribbon cutting for.
Wow.
Nice.
Congrats.
How crazy is that? That would have never been something on my bucket list. You know what I mean? And so that took place. And one of the reasons why that happened is because I am hip-hop's first product endorsed artist. So before Run DMC and Adidas, I had my endorsement deal with Kangol headwear.
Well, what attracted you to the Kangol headwear? Because you was wearing that before you even became a brand for them.
Absolutely, yes. That hat was a sign of liberation for me. I went to Catholic school from 3rd grade to 8th grade, and I hated it. You know, I mean, I loved the people, my classmates, and so on, but I hated the restrictions that came with it because every day I had to wear a white shirt, a plaid tie, navy blue pants, and that was my daily uniform every freaking day, and I couldn't stand that. So I begged my mom to put me in a public high school so I could dress how I want to dress. And it took me a lot of begging to finally have her agree to let me do this. And so when she finally agreed, I purchased my first Kangol hat as a sign of liberation. Like, okay, I can wear this to school now. And so I did. I wore it every day. And cats who didn't know my name, who knew I could rap or knew I could dance, would say, you know, that kid over there, you know, the one with the Kangol hat, that Kangol kid.
Okay.
And so the name stuck. So I didn't name myself Kangol Kid. Everyone started to call me, you know, Kangol Kid. And so the name stuck. So when I became an artist, I used the name. And when Roxanne blew up as big as it did, that the waves hit Kangol Headwear, the company, and they sent the letter. They sent the letter to the record company stating that I'm using the name unlawfully, and if I continue, this will result in a lawsuit, in which, of course, they were threatening to sue me. And at 17 years old, I didn't know what sue meant. I knew it was something bad, and so I didn't want that sue thing to happen to me. So I'm like, yo, am I going to get that sue? Like, I didn't know what the hell it was. And so they said, look, just keep doing what you're doing. We'll handle this. And the headwear company realized that every city I performed in, their sales went up. And so they fell back on the lawsuit and gave us permission to use it on a year-to-year basis. It wasn't even a monetary deal. It was just a permission to use the name, and they provided me with hats and so on. So that was the first deal ever between a company and a rap artist.
Nice.
Got you.
I have another question for you.
I told you it was lengthy, bro. I told you.
That's
this
okay.
We wanted that.
It's
we
all
wanted
good.
that.
It's all good. I'm
We
about
wanted
to ask
that.
you a question.
Nah. I'm reminiscing right now. But Sharonda got a question for you.
Okay, so we know you have done a multitude of things. Now, today's artists, totally different spectrum from where you come from. But if the opportunity came for you to collaborate with one of them, do you have an option or somebody that you have a preference for?
Nah, I'm very flexible and always have been. So I would adapt to whatever that collab is. So there's no preference on that. In terms of preferences, a few cats that, of course, who wouldn't want to do something with. You know what I mean? Of course, I'd love to do something with Drake or, Kendrick. Or so, there's a list of people that I may say I'd love to do something with, but there's no preference per se. If somebody stepped up who, was making it happen and was a fan enough to say, I'd love to do something with you, I would conform to what they got going on, and we would collab in a fashion that would be acceptable to all. I wouldn't bring some whackness to what they're doing. I would compliment what they're doing.
Okay.
So, but in terms of what they do today, and I'm sure this is a question you're going to lead to, so I'm going to cut you off and go right there. In terms of what these new cats are doing, this is their time. We had ours.
Okay.
My parents didn't understand what the hell I was doing. My parents, both my mom and dad, are from Haiti. So they came to this country. I was born in Brooklyn, New York, but they came from Haiti to New York and gave birth to me. And so in their mind, they left, that country to come to America and have their children become doctors, lawyers, engineers, something that they can brag to their friends about. And then their first son decides he want to do rap music. So, that wasn't something that they understood and supported off top. So, so I had to explain to them what hip hop was, and they didn't get it, and they wasn't supposed to get it. It wasn't for them. So I say that to say these kids today doing their thing, I'm not supposed to get what they're doing. That's theirs. You know what I mean? So I respect theirs. What I guess I'm disappointed in is how our hip hop spectrum got minimized. And what I mean by that is hip hop wasn't one sound. It wasn't even 2 or 3 sounds. It was a whole spectrum of sounds. So you had, you always had your gangster rappers. You always had your Cool G rap and your NWAs, and so you always had gangster. But we had a few sex symbols. We had, Houdini. We had LL, Big Daddy Kane. Then you had your comedy. Fresh Prince,
Biz Markie,
Fresh Prince, Biz Markie, Fat Boys, so you had your little comedy going on. You had your social conscious, your Arrested Development, your KRS-Ones, there was a few conscious things going, your Public Enemies. Then you had experimental. You had Run DMC saying, let's do rock and rap.
Yep.
You've had, even Nelly said, let me try country and rap. And there was all these different, experimental things taking place. The spectrum was just so wide when it came to hip hop, and I miss that. I so saddened to hear hip hop only having this one type of sound going on with everyone doing that thing, and the spectrum may probably have 3 things now versus the 20 things that it had, back when hip hop first began. But that would be my only gripe with hip hop right now.
So you know what I'm gonna throw at you now. I've been looking forward to this, and hopefully this does happen. I do want to see a UTFO unsung.
Yes, we did attempt that actually a few years ago, and Full Force was actually spearheading that because Full Force successfully has had their story. They also had Lisa's story, and Cheryl Pepsi Riley had her story. So members of the One Big Family, the Full Force family, have had theirs, and they attempted to do ours. And I believe what took place was something happened with the team, the production team that greenlighted it. It was getting ready to happen. Something went left with the production company, and they changed cast or employees or whatever it was changed, and we were back to the drawing board with our story, and it didn't happen. So it's inevitable. I hate that one member has passed away, and here we are doing this, and I would hate for another member to pass away before it finally happens. But it's inevitable. I would love to see it also, man, because it's an incredible story there with so many firsts for hip hop. I mean, there were so many things that we did that cats are doing today and don't know where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got all these cats doing their melodic, singing, rapping thing, which we did way back as hip hop's first R&B group. First hip hop group to do an R&B single that charted. Let's go there. I'm not gonna say that other groups didn't try to sing or whatever, but I was charted, Fairy Tale Level. We performed it on Soul Train. So many other firsts in hip hop that we did that I would like these people today to know about it, man. It's like Black History Month. Every year during Black History Month, even I find out something new that we created that I didn't know we created. You know what I mean?
True.
And how crazy is that, man? You know what I mean? I'm in my early 50s right now, and I'm still in Black history. Like, I should know this, you would think. As a black man, you would think I should know these things at my age, but I don't. And in terms of hip hop, there are all these kids right now enjoying this thing called hip hop that don't know jack about it.
Yep.
They don't know where it came from. So I would love for our Unsung to come out and educate people to, now that you see all these dancers on stage with rappers, who was the first?
Where did it originate
even
from?
Charts.
Yep.
Right. Even the charts today, you have a rap chart, a rap single chart, and a rap album chart. That didn't exist, man. When we came out, there was a chart called the Black Chart. It wasn't even R&B. It was called the Black Chart.
Mm-hmm.
And we shared the chart with the OJs and Stevie Wonder and Michael Jackson. And it wasn't until we made it to number 2 on the Black charts. Michael Jackson was number 1 with Bad, and we were number 2 with Lethal, that society had to check themselves and go, look, we're doing this rap thing a disservice because we got them on the same chart with Michael Jackson. They need their own chart. You know what I mean? And so then that's when, rap charts began shortly after that. So it's stuff like that people don't understand or don't know even existed in terms of hip hop. So I would love to have an Unsung and educate these kids today.
And we definitely appreciate you. If you don't mind, if you want to give the listeners like your social media information, your website, whatever you got information that they can just reach out and say, yo, hello, hey.
Yeah, please. I love when that happens, man. So please hit me. I'm on Instagram daily, so your best bet is to hit me there. That is Yo Kangol. That's YOKANGOL. Cats love to get the L. YOKANGOL. So don't forget the L. All right, I've had so many wins in my life. I ain't afraid of a little L.
Okay.
So put that L in there and hit me, man. I so enjoy that. What I have also is fans that will hit me or DM me and send me a picture of me and them from the 80s or from the 90s, something that I would have never seen if they didn't take the time to do this. And so I always appreciate cats doing that, man. So please hit me, man. I'd love to hear from y'all.
And I got one request from
Okay.
my cousin, E.Jones. She said, could you give her a little verse of your verse from Roxanne? She said, just a little. Just a little.
Just a little.
A little something.
Right.
A little taste.
You know what? Okay. Well, I'll bless you with this part, which is also a first. This is the first time that Pig Latin was ever spoken on a rap song.
Yep.
And Snoop would tell you, like when you hear him say "for shizzle my nizzle," he'll tell you that came from me inspiring him, to add Pig Latin in there. So let's see. Visit Trizza to Kizum and see Nizumba Wizum. Krizzle Rizak into a bizarre like a gizum with the bang bang, brother. I feel bad, but I ain't committing suicide for no crab. There go the little taste right there.
Thank you so much.
Yes, that's what's up.
Ladies and gentlemen, we had the legendary, iconic Kangol Kid from the group UTFO join us. And, we so much appreciated this interview. And when it was dropped in our lap and said, y'all want Kangol? I was like, come on, you sound stupid. Do we want him? Yeah.
That goes without saying.
If we supposed to be representing urban classics and we say, oh, no, we don't want Kangol, then we contradicting ourselves.
Absolutely.
So we appreciate you, my brother, and anything that you got going on, please let us know. DM us, I need to come on the show. I got something to say. We got you.
Absolutely.
Will do, man. Thank you so much, bro.
And hopefully, you get some royalties from us because we beat the brakes off of y'all songs.
Oh, we'll continue doing that, man. I told you I got a 3-year-old. Baby need new shoes, man.
We got you.
I know that's right. She said, look, he sound like me. That's what I was saying this weekend. Now, Mama need a new pair of shoes.
Her reasons was
because I wanted a new pair of shoes. That's all.
She had a little gasoline in the tank. That's all I'm gonna say.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. But definitely, I'm gonna probably DM you because I want to find out when you doing the next time you're doing the Thursday event in Brooklyn. We need to come out of PA and come down and rock with you.
This Thursday and every Thursday, bro. So please come on down. Love to have you.
All right. Well, we're gonna bring the cameras with us too.
Why don't you do that? I accept.
Say no more. Kangol Kid, y'all. A round of applause for everybody in the room for this legend, man. Come on.
That's what's up.
We appreciate you, brother.
We
and
truly thank you.
Thank you for everything that you gave us.
Absolutely.
We enjoyed it.
Thank you, bro.
All right.
Have a blessed evening, legend.
You too, man. Talk
Thanks
to you guys
again.
soon. Look forward to seeing y'all.
God bless.
Definitely. Peace.
Bye-bye.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as y'all know, that was the Kangol Kid from UTFO who joins us on the show.
That was a hot interview. It's all good. It's all good.
Well, Soul Man gave us the signal. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
All right.
Peace.
All right. Peace, y'all.
E.Jones.
The E.Jones Show. E.Jones Show. The E.Jones Show.
E.Jones.